It's a story called The Boy Who Loved Chocolate. Everyone get settled down and get comfortable. It's going to be a night. It's going to be a night in the bear round. Okay then. Let me start.
This is a wonder story from ShambhalaKids.com. The Boy Who Loved Chocolate. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a boy who lived in a small village. His name was Thomas. The people in Thomas's village were very friendly, and they were ready to help each other at a moment's notice. Whether it was getting some water from the river, feeding the animals, or even repairing a house. Thomas had grown up in this village, and it was all he knew. Thomas knew everyone in the village. He had many friends, and he had a good life there. He also had animal friends, like Calvin the cat and Mozart the mouse. Thomas, Calvin, and Mozart played a lot together, and they especially loved to sing new songs that they had created out of their own imaginations. Everyone in the village loved how Thomas was full of creativity and imagination. There was only one thing that bothered Thomas. Something his parents could not quite explain to him, and everyone in the village had warned him about. The danger of eating chocolate. Although Thomas's mom loved to cook, she was always very careful and paid close attention to remind Thomas that chocolate was a dangerous ingredient and should never be used. It was not even to be tasted or even thought about. From as far back as Thomas could remember, he had always been told, "Don't eat chocolate, it will make your tummy hurt. It will cause you to get sick. It will control your life if you let it." Always the people in his village said the same thing. But no one in his village had actually tried chocolate. They were taught to be afraid of chocolate, and so they were. No one had even tested it for himself. But they were so afraid, they dared not. Now something inside of Thomas yearned to know more about this thing called chocolate. All of the villagers told him the same thing, yet he remained curious as to the real power of chocolate. One day, while running by the river, he made up his mind that he was going to study chocolate. He was going to read old books about it and do as much research as he could. He figured he could make up his own mind. Very few books actually explained about chocolate, and it was rare indeed the people who even researched it. Well, after studying, and studying, Thomas finally came to the conclusion that chocolate was actually edible, and in fact, it could be healthy. But the people in his village questioned what Thomas had been reading. They remained completely skeptical and did not agree. 1 year passed, then another year, and a few more years passed still. When Thomas turned 12, he was considered old enough to travel to the nearby village by himself, and he decided to do so. Everyone in the village had warned him, "Be careful, Thomas, when you go. We have heard stories of people loving and eating chocolate there. You know this is not our way. You must not be tempted. Guard yourself well." He went to see his friends Calvin the cat and Mozart the mouse and said, "Today, I am leaving to visit people in the next village." Well, his friends were a little scared for him, but they knew that he was excited about this trip, and he had been anticipating it for a very long time. So they looked at him and waved a goodbye, and they said, "Have a safe trip and come back soon. We will surely miss you." And so, our young friend Thomas traveled to the neighboring village. The road was long and dusty, but it was a new adventure, and Thomas could hardly contain his excitement. On the way to a nearby village, Thomas even met a new friend, Squeaky the squirrel. Squeaky was busy gathering and saving nuts for wintertime. He loved working hard and preparing for the cold season. They talked for a while, and then it was time for Thomas to continue on his journey. "Bye, Squeaky," said Thomas, as he crossed the bridge and continued on. "I'm sure we'll see each other again very soon." When Thomas arrived in the next village, he was welcomed warmly by everyone. Even on the first day, he noticed that everyone was eating and enjoying chocolate. But how could this be? He remembered the people in his village warning him about the chocolate. But he had in the back of his mind still all of that research. Was it really harmful and bad? "Oh," said the people, "you have not tasted life until you have tasted the sweetness of chocolate." Something inside of Thomas felt drawn to the experience of tasting the chocolate. And since he had done his research, he decided to taste the chocolate. First, he tried the dark chocolate. It was somewhat sweet, but it tasted deep and pure. And as the days passed, he tried more varieties of chocolate and tasted it prepared in various ways by various people. Chocolate became the sweetest thing he had ever tasted, and his favorite treat. He now understood that what the villagers had been told a very long time ago was not actually the truth, but based on fear. Since chocolate was so sweet, so divine, why not share this splendor with the whole world? On the way back to his village, Thomas was singing, very happy and so proud of the discovery he had made. He understood that the people in his village were misguided because of the fear that they had. He understood that we should never focus on fear to guide our life, inner voice. Always observe and study before we judge, and keep sharing our own truth with others. Now Thomas and all of the people and animals of his village enjoy chocolate with no fear. I wonder what adventures and truths and discoveries you will find in your life.
Thank you for listening. Bye. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.